Hello everyone, it's For the Love of Silver. How's everybody doing today? First day of May. Boy, I got some big news tonight. I don't even know if I should talk about it. Jeez. I look into this stuff while I'm doing my work and listen to reports and stuff. It's on Redacted. And it's the border crisis. It's Redacted is a YouTube channel. And it says the border crisis is larger than we think. And I don't even know what to title this video, to be honest with you. It just freaked me out. And I watched it last night and I rewatched it today to try to get some of the info off of it. And golly, it was ridiculous. But anyway, let's get to the silver prices first. Bullion Brothers at $26.59 an ounce. Silver looks like it's on its way back up. Monument Metals, $26.60 an ounce. Kitco, $26.67 an ounce. Hero Bullion, $26.72. SD Bullion, $26.79. I put Money Metals back in the lineup because they've been, they actually beat SD Bullion. Looks like it's 26.78. JM Bullion came in at 26.81. Bullion Max also came in at 26.81. AppMex, looking at them all, $26.80, like always. But now they're talking about Blinken, which actually I think is Secretary of State maybe, but he's pretty much president. He's the one they send it to China, to talk to China. And now he's over in Gaza talking about bringing refugees from Gaza into America. Let me explain this so that I can explain that. And it sounds like Nixon, huh? Years ago, I don't know who all studied. I've heard that a bunch of the presidents studied there in Columbia University. Now, some of the presidents, most of the presidents did go to part of their college at Columbia. Well, there was two professors. They were married. Their name were Cloward and Piven. Okay. They was tasked. They did a study on how to bring down a free society like America, and I don't know if any of the presidents studied under them, but from what I hear, several of them did, Democrat and Republican, which I don't believe there is such a thing anymore, hardly. Anyway, Cloward and Piven, was tasked with finding out how you could bring down a free society like America. Well, they finally figured it out. They said the only way to do it was to overload the welfare system, we would be able to get out of it. And then Elon Musk come out last week and said, if we get a 1% of refugees in America, we have like 300 million people in America, and if we had like 1% refugees to come into America, that it would overload the welfare system. It would be enough to bring it down. Well, there's got to be some big news right here. Y'all listen up. Not counting the refugees that they're fixed to start pouring in here from Gaza, which you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to. They got a little thing down in Mexico on the border there. After they cross the border, the feds, which is the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, have these things called NGOs, which is a non-governmental operators. Okay, they hand off thousands of immigrants to the NGOs, each one, and the NGOs get so many hundreds or so many thousands of immigrants. Okay, well, then they start shuffling them around the country. Every time they move them, they have to have COVID, each one of them COVID tested. So let's say one of them has 10,000 refugees under them that they're moving, they're shuffling around. So when they're shuffling these refugees around, they go back to the DHS or, the Fed and say, we need this much money. Because each time they cross the state line with them, they have to have them COVID tested, supposedly. Now, I heard all this on Redacted. You should really go watch it, really, really. There's an ex-police officer that is, he's been down there investigating it all, and he's kind of spooked to even come up with it, because he's found out under the table what's really going on. billions of dollars are being poured into the refugees that's coming across, of money that the United States does not have. It is ridiculous. To the NGOs, and a big percentage of the NGOs supposedly are felons. That's non-governmental operators, supposedly felons. They're unvetted, and they're giving them children, they're giving them women, and you know, you're probably not going to hear a lot of that happening to a small kid, you know, the bad things that can happen, which is sickening. But, or the women, you know, they're here illegally, you know, and they probably think that's part of it, I guess. It's ridiculous. But he said that in 2 weeks' time, they're getting 250,000 people crossing the border. And of course, that's 4 weeks, that's 1 million people. And he said to date, there's been 30 million people. That's not the 1% that Elon Musk talked about. That's 10%. Our population has increased 10%, and they're shuffling those immigrants around with these NGOs, these people that are just hired. I don't know who hires them or does whatever, but I guess you can just be one. I have seen videos of people that do it that were sickened by how they had to, you know, drop the crying children off, and that was the good ones, the ones that you hear about, you know. And I'm sure there's a lot of corrupt ones that do awful things, but you're going to hear about it later in the news, but maybe it'll be too late then. And it's pathetic that they can do this and get away with it. I mean, it almost sickened me to listen at it. And it's on Redacted, and it's the border crisis is worse than we imagined. And it was like 2 days ago that it come out, but please go and watch it, please. He said that over 600 million, a check for $600 million was cut to one of the NGOs, just one, $600 million. And with that, he had to supply, I guess, transportation to take them from state to state. And each time he goes and runs out of money, he just calls them back and they write him another check, you know, the DHS, the Fed, or whatever you want to call it. Really, please take the time and listen to this report, because according to them, according to this gentleman, this retired police officer is now spending his time making a documentary about it. He says that there's been over 30 million immigrants. Now, these aren't just irregular right now. There are children and there are females, and you see quite a bit of them on TV. He says, but 90% of them are fighting age men, and they don't come from, you know, South America or Mexico. A lot of them come from China, India, Africa, and the Middle East. He says that is the majority of them fighting age men. I mean, and just like Cloward and Piven taught, you know, in college, that is the way that they'll bring down the, I mean, there's no way this will work. There's no way this will work. They will bring down, you know, and flatline the, I mean, and it's money that we all, when we go to the grocery store and pay our taxes, you know, that's part of it. We pay our house taxes, we pay our, all these other taxes, you know, that's where our money's going. And it's pitiful, you know, that they're actually trying to bring down the country. That's the people that are elected in. And how could you even reverse that? Can you imagine transporting 30 million people back across into their countries and stuff, getting them back? I mean, that's just, wow, ridiculous and crazy. I guess maybe the title for the video is Border Crisis Worsens, but I would definitely go to Redacted. They have a channel on YouTube, and look at about 2 or 3, maybe 2 days ago, border crisis is worse than we imagined. You really need to take a look at that video. And I was going to show off my case that my daughter got me for Christmas with my new, so I started loading it up with my Eagles, You know, I've still got all this room and all these over here. This is all of, and let me lift this up where you can see it. There's my graded ones, but all these are just business strikes. But as you can tell there, I'm gonna flip them off here a little bit, just one at a time. We get everybody a little look at them. But each one, I've got one for every year now, and they're all in MS condition. Most of them are bright white, and there is one or two in there that has a spot or two on them, but I've done the best I could. I'm getting them all together in MS condition, and they look really great in these new cases. The new airtights that come with this case. But I was tickled with that. My daughter, she knows what a daddy likes. They're all really nice, as you can see. From now on, that one's got a little toning on it. But from now on, probably once or twice a year, I've got 3 MS70s. I've got the 2024, the 2022, and well, I can't even see that one. I'm getting old, folks. Looks like the 20, I'm not sure of the date of that. Let me look on here and see if I can see. (2012). These are all MS70s. I've got, I've just, not that I prefer NGC, I just went with the NGC, and I figured if I was going to go with them on, I was going to get them all in NGC. The other 3 that I have up here are 69s, but from now on, when I buy Eagle every year, I'm going to go ahead and get the 70, and maybe 1 or 2 others a year in 70 till I can go back through and replace everything I have with 70s. But everything I have is, I'd say some of them are 70s. But I can pick up an ounce of silver and get it in MS70 most of the time for $35 or $40 it graded. So it's ridiculous to give $35, $36 for just an ungraded silver Eagle, when most of the time, if you've got a reputable dealer, you can get them off YouTube, you know, for 35, 40 to 45 bucks for a MS70 and avoid the grading charge, you know, for 20 whatever dollars to get them. But I'm pretty tickled with it. I got one proof in the bunch. She's a beaut, 1999. That's the only proof Eagle I have. The rest of them are business strikes. I got some first day strikes and some stuff like that. Oh, I was tore all to pieces. I went through and got them out and was looking at them, and I couldn't find the 2003. And I was like, oh my God, I know I got it. And I looked it up and everything, and I had it documented and stuff. But there it is. It's MS69. And I'm not sure that it wouldn't grade a 60. I mean a 70. It's a really nice coin. I guess that's what they say about grading. That's all subjective. But I was tickled with them, and I just had to get the news out there. I heard it, and it just made me sick in my stomach. I gotta get back to work. I've got it's a beading project, some I'm finishing, and I'm gonna try to do a video on Friday before I ship it out and kind of give everybody a glance at what I've been doing. And beading for a lady that I've done a lot of work for at the University of Florida. She's graduating. She's a native lady, a friend of mine, family, I would consider. And I've done a lot of bead work for her over the years, and I'm beading her graduation cap, and I'm gonna put that in there. But 30 million people cross the border in America now. That's 10% of our population. That's crazy. There's little over 300,000 Americans now, and 30 million immigrants now are being moved around the country. And every time they move a group of them, it's costing $500 million to move them. and checks are just being written left and right to do it. You really, really should go to Redacted and check it out. It's a news channel, and they have the retired police officer on there explaining what he's doing down there and how he found the information out. And it's kind of all under the table and everything. But we really, he said he thought the country was, there's no way of reversing what's happening. They've got too big, and it's just no way of reversing it. We just gotta have to go through it. And Lord, I'm glad I got my silver. I've got a couple pieces that I've managed to get the last couple of weeks that is being shipped that I bought. I've been concentrating on some, like they're 1985 Bahama coins. They're $20 pieces, and they're huge. They're huge, but they're sterling silver, so they're 925. And actually bought a really cool 1985 Mexican Olympic coin that it's about, I don't know, it's a little over a half ounce of silver and stuff. But I'm finding I'm getting really good deals on some of the Bahama coins and the Virgin Island coins that are really big in sterling silver. And I mean, they weigh 40-something grams, so there's an ounce of silver there. It's just, it's hidden because it says 925, and people don't realize, there's really, really, really close to an ounce of silver. And I've been scoring them for around, a little bit over $20, which, it's better than, to me. I mean, any way I can get an ounce of silver, I'm gonna snag it, especially if I can get one for $20, I'm going to get it. But you got to really watch and see, make sure you're getting them from a reputable dealer on YouTube. If you're getting them off YouTube, like every now and then I'll snag one off there, but you really, really got to be careful with who you get from there. And because I've seen stuff, the German silver and all that stuff, which isn't even silver. They just call it German silver. It's like tin and different metals mixed up to make it look like it's silver, but it's not even silver. And you really got to watch. German silver is not silver. I guarantee that. And I learned that lesson the hard way. I bought some from a pawn shop one time. The man was good enough to exchange it for me and give it back, but I got 2 eagles. I traded it. He says, well, what do you want to do about it? Because I explained to him on the back of one of them, it said, "In clad we trust," in small writing, where it should have said, "In God we trust." It said, "In clad we trust." And one of them was a buffalo bar. I'm not even sure what the other one was, but I didn't get home. When I got home, I got my loop out and looked at it, and you could see where the serial number was stamped in. It went through the small layer of silver metal, whatever it was, tin or aluminum or whatever it was. But when they stamped through it, you could actually see copper underneath it. So I took it back to him, and he was kind enough, because I paid silver price for it. I think it was like $20 an ounce then, but he let me trade it out for 2 eagles that he had. And anyway, that's it. I got a little windy. I got excited, about this stuff. I heard that Anthony Blinken was going to start bringing over refugees from Gaza. And then it's like 1 or 2 days ago, I heard this other thing about, the 30 million that's already here, That's crazy, huh? What are we going to do, folks? We got to get back to this right here. And I guarantee what's being done right now is totally illegal, according to this right here. Flooding our country with what they're doing. And I'm all for, people coming here legally. I'm sure that I've got immigrant blood in me. I'm part Norwegian, part Native American, part Irish. And, of course, here from Tennessee, a lot of the Irish people come here because it reminded them of their home, and the Scottish people as well. And, of course, they mix with the natives. And I have Norwegian blood in me. I had to find out who my real father was a few years back. I had to do some tests, and I know what I am now, according to them anyway, if you can believe them. But I've done got windy on everybody. I'm sorry. Appreciate you. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And I'm just trying to help everybody and get the lowest prices out there and give you a little bit of news. I love everybody. Have a blessed week. Hump day. I hope everybody has a good rest of the week, and take care of one another out there, man, and be charitable with each other, and watch over your neighbors. And we're gonna have to start communicating more with each other and finding out more. Please comment. Let me know what y'all think about the whole immigrant situation. I'm not against immigrants at all. Don't think that. I'm not. Like I said, I'm sure I've got immigrant blood in me. It's just, I think they should do it the legal way instead of just flooding over when you get a certain president in that says, hey, come on, you know. I mean, no, and I'm not saying one of them's better than the other one either, because I really don't think they are. You can look at the national debt and when it's been added and see all that. But I love everybody. Have a great rest of the week. It's For the Love of Silver signing out. We'll catch y'all in a couple days.